Today's program is brought to you by Vagabond Creative Studio and Grow with KLO. Kristin, good morning and welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. This is the Christmas mug edition. Ta-da! There's no place like Nome for the holidays, Kristin.
I like dancing Santa myself.
He looks very happy and excited.
Let's talk about who doesn't appear to be happy and excited to be here today.
Oh, that's right. Look at who's next to me, you guys. This is Teak. Teak is a teenager. Teak has been hearing about this show and asking for weeks if he could, pop in, make a little guest appearance, join us in some way. But A, he is not a morning person, and B, he usually has school at this time. But today the MPSD has no school, and so dragged out of bed, here's Teak. Teak, say hi to the viewers.
Hi.
Teak, so this is not your natural time to be awake. If you were not awoken this morning for this fabulous online show, how late would you have slept today?
Assuming I didn't have school, probably like noon or like 1:30.
That is amazing. I don't even know that my body can do that anymore. Okay, and how late do you stay up at night then?
3 to like 3:30 or 4 sometimes.
4?
Yeah.
What? Kristin, that's about the time you're getting up to do your workout.
You're right. Teak, maybe you should just come join me for the workout and then go to bed.
I'd be like really tired though.
Hey, I'm just saying, when do you eat?
That's really variable. Sometimes I'll eat it like whenever I get up and then like 2 hours later and then like later, but sometimes I'll eat like once at like 7 and then once at like midnight or something.
I just can't even fathom this in my mind. My mind is so
But you're also in the middle of your day already, Kristin. You've got a workout in,
shower. I'm like, these are little cups of coffee, by the way. Like, look at my man hands compared to this mug. So I have to keep refilling this. But yeah, I'm definitely a good 3-4 hours into my day here.
But you said you're natural. Like if you didn't make yourself get up to work out, you would get up at what, 8 o'clock?
Yeah, probably between 7 and 8. Sometimes if I'm really tired, maybe 9 if I like roll over and go back to sleep a bunch of times. But
yeah, that's kind of my sweet spot too. I'm not a morning person and I don't know why, but once I'm up, I love it. But the hard part is just getting up. I think I call my bed the snuggery, and maybe that was my first mistake.
No, I think a snuggly bed is like a good thing. I actually have reflected. So we talked about like goal setting last week on the show. So one of the things I've been trying to do is reflect about the positives of 2020. And one of the positives of 2020 is I developed and created myself into a morning workout person, which if you had asked me prior to this year, would you do this? Are you going to get up at 5:15? My answer would have absolutely been no. But it was like what I had to do to like get the girls with school and keep my business going. Like 6 a.m. is the time the workout has to happen in order for me to get about my day. And now it's not a big deal anymore. And so like that is to me a huge accomplishment in the year.
That is a huge accomplishment. You totally set a goal, you put your mind to it, and you've achieved it. And now it feels good.
But now it's normal. But I still, Teak, I'm with you, man. On the weekends, I am so sleeping in. Like Doug will get up very quietly and tiptoe out of the room and shut the door. And he tells the girls like, nobody goes in there. Nobody bothers her. Nobody makes the dogs bark. Like he knows I like my sleep on the weekends.
Nice. Well, speaking of setting like workout goals, fitness goals, Teak's been doing the same. He's been getting some advice from a friend and, doing lifting weights and sit-ups and push-ups. And at first, how many push-ups did you do? It was
I could do like 5 per set, and I did like 3 sets.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can hear you talk that quietly.
I did like 5 per set, and I did like 3 sets.
But now, how many are you doing?
Like 20 per set, and then I do like 3 to 4 sets, and then if I can do more.
Sure.
So in a day now, he'll be doing like 60 push-ups, whereas when he first started, hitting 5 was really hard.
Right. How long of a period of time did it take you to like get over, like to make that progress?
Like a month.
That is amazing. That is incredible.
Yeah, not as long as you would think, right? Like, how long did it take you to get into your routine, do you think?
Oh man, we started. I mean, Doug and I were working out in our garage when things were kind of locked down. So like back in March, probably, I started getting up with him. And then once we like had the kids all home for school, then I just had to keep it up. So yeah, probably, I mean, I'm probably going on like 8 or 9 months now, but I mean, that's impressive, Teak, what you've been able to accomplish in a month. I mean, I think this really speaks to like when you just say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to do more and more every day, that you can really do it if you work hard at it.
Especially when it makes you feel good, right? When you start to like feel a difference in your body. Can you give us a gun show? Kristin, do you have tickets? Do you have tickets for the gun show?
I do, but I don't have appropriate clothing on under my sweatshirt to show off. There you go, Teak.
Whoa! Love it.
Next week, I'll give you a ticket to the gun show.
You hear that, viewers? Next week, make sure you've got your tickets because there is going to be a gun show. Woo!
Just for the record, what that means is I will not shower after I get done with my workout, and I'm going to look all kinds of crazy, but I'm still going to be in my workout tank top. That's what that means. This
is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. So viewers, we'd love to know too, share, did you set any goals? Are you really proud of something that you've accomplished, something that you set out to do and you are doing and you're feeling that it's making a difference? Would love to know about it.
Yeah, and I don't even think like I didn't set the goal of 6 a.m. initially. I was just like, okay, I want to work out. This is what I need to do to be able to work out. It wasn't like this all-inspiring goal out there. But as I reflect back on that, now I'm like, man, it's awesome that I did that. So sometimes it's not, I don't know that I was intentional about it, but I was certainly determined and committed to doing that thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And that is awesome.
All right. So I saw a comment from Matt. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Matt. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Viewers, I would love to know. So Teak just got his temporary driving license, which is very exciting, but also terrifying at the same time. Do you have any tips or advice that you learned when you were first driving the car that you'd want to pass on? Or is there anything that you've learned the hard way that you think is worth passing on to a new driver?
All right, Teak. So let's get the scoop. Pretend mom's not there. Who's more fun to drive with, mom or dad?
Probably my dad.
What? Because he lets you drive comedians?
No, because he's not freaking out the whole time.
Okay, so dad doesn't freak out. Are you allowed to drive dad's Jeep, or do you only get to drive mom's red car?
I can drive dad's Jeep, but I like kind of choose not to because it's just got worse brakes and stuff.
And I think he'll probably use the red car for the driving test. So we've been focused on that. Although Grandpa's taken him driving in his car too.
Ooh, what does Grandpa have?
Cadillac SUV something. It's like a smaller, worse version of the Escalade.
Not like a Cutlass Sierra from 1990?
No.
Teak is like, I don't even know what that is.
He's like, I just heard words.
Yeah. Who will take you for your driving test, mom or dad?
Probably mom, right?
Probably me.
Mom.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been trying to get him out every day. We're talking about how we can level up. You know, like at first we would only go right out of the driveway because we live on a busy road, and so that was the easiest. So he leveled up to now going left out of the driveway. He leveled up to doing the roundabout at the end of Waldo Boulevard, so that was a good experience.
Nice.
He leveled up and drove through downtown Two Rivers. So next up will be downtown Manitowoc. And then we have to move on to night driving and winter driving.
Good. Teak,
and highway.
what has been the scariest moment for you in the car so far?
So it was like my second or third day or something, like after I got my temps. And it was at nighttime, and I drove with my dad to Meyer, which is like a quarter mile down the road or something to the right of my house. And then if you know how like when you're pulling out of the Meyer parking lot, how you can go like right or left, and then if you go left, well, I mean, I think both ways it's a 5-lane intersection, but like if you go left, you have to kind of pull out like really far, like 4 lanes or something.
Yes.
So I thought it was just like standard like intersection or whatever where it's like 2 lanes and then there's the one where you go. So I pulled into the 3rd lane, but that was the turn lane for the oncoming traffic. So he started freaking out, and so we had to like drive over the median.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's why Dad is more fun to drive with.
Right. Tina, what has been your most scariest experience driving with Teak in the car?
You mean with him as the driver?
Yeah.
I think it's just that sense of like drifting, you know, like the first day or two, the lines seemed to be like just like guidelines rather than like rules of like to stay in your lane.
Sure.
And so, you know, he'd like, I'll start having a conversation like, hey, I really like that car in front of us. And I'd be like, no conversation. You just
on the road.
But then, you know, I don't like saying stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Although that's really important when you're driving to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
It's not something I want like to be life advice because I do think people should explore and have experiences. So I'm like torn, right, as a driving parent, how to give advice.
Teak, if money was no object, what car would you go and buy right now?
If it was going to show up under this tree.
Like
If it was going to show up here under Teak tree.
Either like a kitted out Tesla Cybertruck or like a Ford, whatever, like the really fancy version of a Ford GT is, where it looks like a racing car with like a spoiler and stuff. It's like $500,000.
Sure.
So never mind, that will not end up under the tree.
Hey, there's no rules, Tina. I said money is no object.
Oh, right.
I just heard somebody talk about these Tesla pickup trucks. I guess they look super funky, and aren't they electric powered?
Yeah, and so you can get them with like 1, 2, or 3 batteries, and they can go for like 500 miles on like this smallest one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like proof of like everything, like, or like not proof of everything, but they're like resistant to like everything.
Yeah.
Like you can hit like a hammer against the window and stuff, and they don't break.
Well, and there's no like I've heard there's no like under stuff because there's no like, well, there's an engine obviously, but like not the exhaust, not all the stuff that like can go bad. So.
Oh, right.
Can people hack into a car?
Hypothetically, but this one isn't. I mean, well, this one might have some self-driving stuff, but like unless it's like controlled by a computer, it won't really matter. They can mess with like whatever you're seeing, but like most cars are fully, you know, manual or whatever still. So
Sure. My new car does have autocorrect for the lanes and for if you're approaching a vehicle in front of you too fast. So if I'm driving down the road and I cross center, which like we live out in the country, so sometimes you're just like cruising around corners, my seat vibrates and the lights come on the dash and my steering wheel turns back into the lane. And the first couple times it happened, it was like crazy because it might, I'm like, wait a second, that you can't go that far over. That's not right. The other crazy thing is if I approach a car too fast that's stopped in front of me, it flashes red on my windshield in front of me and vibrates the seat.
Whoa. So do you sometimes do it just for fun?
No. It's like, whoa.
So what if you were like swerving to avoid something that was in the road and it?
Yeah, I have had to do that. You have to like override the override. You have to like overcorrect it. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense.
Right. Yes. Yeah, like there's roadkill on the road and you want to drive around it. It will resist you going around it basically.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's a little intense.
Yeah. I do like it just because I have kids in the car and I'm not a not attentive driver, but there are moments where, things are happening in the vehicle behind me. And so that, especially a car is stopped in front of you and you're approaching too quickly, like that is helpful in those moments. Should there be distractions going on in the seats.
And those are things that, especially as a new driver, that are a little difficult to judge, right? That distance and that depth, like how fast are you approaching the car, or how much do your side mirrors stick out? So that's one challenge we did too. I had him drive through a drive-through, and through he went to his bank. I had him drive up, and do the whole drive-through experience, which was pretty cool.
Right. Teak, it's interesting to me how your mother has made this like a video game for you. Like, in order to achieve the next level, you have to pass this level first. And she decides if you have been successful or not.
Yeah.
Hi, Mary. Thanks for watching. You are not too late. Join us in the comments if you'd like.
Yeah, you're never too late to join us. You can even go back and rewatch it again if you want.
That's right. Watch it again and again. And it's like we're there with you.
Right. We're so entertaining.
Having your coffee in the morning.
Right.
So we're feeling festive. Not only is this the holiday mug episode, but look I love your Bitmoji, Kristin.
I know. I worked really hard on that little snowman. So that we could be there to bring you joy.
And I love this little stocking stuffer Bitmoji.
Tina, tell us why your face is purple in your Bitmojis.
I love the color purple. It's my favorite color. So it was easy to do it that way. And also, I didn't want to be in any kind of box. I thought, what does the color matter?
Yeah.
So I just chose my favorite color.
Chose purple. Sometimes I feel like you probably haven't seen this, but Disney is like a zombie movie show. And I sometimes look at the purple and feel like it's zombie Tina.
Oh, no.
Right? Don't zombies have a purple hue?
This is just Tina being whoever she can be as a Bitmoji, because there are no rules.
There's no rules.
I'm just my favorite color. Hey, speaking of no rules, tell us about turning food into your leftovers into something delicious.
Okay. So friends, what you are seeing on the screen is on the top, my very festive crock pot with leftover pork chops that we grilled. We just chopped them up. And then the veggies are just Asian veggies from Aldi. They come in a frozen bag. And then the stuff on the left is riced cauliflower, also from Aldi.
Okay.
And I was on a mission to make chop suey for my family, which everybody was like, oh, we don't want to eat that. So I made a homemade chop suey sauce, which had onions and garlic, and I toasted sesame seeds because I didn't have sesame oil here. Toasted that up in a frying pan. You put like sugar and soy sauce and chicken broth and then cornstarch in, and you just like cook it up and it gets thick and beautiful. And I dumped it in the pot and it sat on the counter all afternoon. And then on the bottom, here is how this lovely dish turned out with brown rice, and the broccoli and stuff kind of cooked in, which my kids prefer. But guess what? Everybody ate it. Even my littlest stinker, Nora, who never eats anything and is constantly complaining. Like, for the record, she would rather go to bed hungry than eat some things. Everybody ate it. It was amazing. It was the most amazing day in the whole week last week.
That is so cool. What a success. Teak, what do you think? Is this something you would eat? Does that look good? Would you like it?
Probably.
That's high praise, Kristin.
Yeah. And the best part is we were using up leftovers. So it was like, chopped Odell edition at our house because we're cleaning the refrigerator out. So, yeah.
When I was little, I was picky. It sounds like Nora. So yeah. I liked fish sticks. I liked cheese pizza and mac and cheese. And that was pretty much it. And my mom was such a good cook, but there was so much I didn't like. Like, now I regret it. I wish I could go back and eat all the meals I didn't want to eat.
Right.
And in high school, one day my dad looked at me. He's like, if you want to travel the world, if you want to go to Japan, if you want to go to France, they're not going to be eating fish sticks and cheese pizza and mac and cheese. Like, you're going to have to broaden what you eat in order for me to even let you go. Otherwise, I would be worried you'd starve. And like, somehow that flipped a switch. And now I'm very adventurous when I eat. Isn't that funny?
That is really cool. When I think of a picky eater, I do not think fish sticks.
Really?
Not at all. I don't. But I feel like this must be a generation thing, because I know other people that grew up eating fish sticks, and it blows my mind that so many people eat fish sticks, and that's like on the list of likes.
Oh, I also like Braunschweiger.
See, my mom and her siblings also eat Braunschweiger. I do not. That is not my thing.
Mary said she just had fish sticks and mac and cheese last night. So we're in good company. Thanks, Mary.
Last night I had like work all afternoon. Doug got done working before I did. And we had ring bologna, sure make ring bologna, and mac and cheese, which is like our vegetable last night was the ketchup we dipped our ring bologna. So
I can't eat ring bologna. I don't know. Nope.
Why?
I don't know.
Good.
I know. No, you don't like ring bologna, do you?
How do you prepare it? Do you boil it?
I don't. I don't have anything to do with ring bologna.
You can come over and I'll prepare a delicious ring bologna for you.
You know who would love that is Jason. Jason
really?
Ring bologna. Yeah.
Maybe post-apocalyptic pandemic, you guys can come over for dinner and I will prepare some delicious ring bologna and some delicious mac and cheese for a gourmet dinner.
Teak does love mac and cheese, and he's got like some of his own recipes. He came up with this way of combining mac and cheese and ramen. So, you know, it has like that Asian flavor in the mac and cheese, which is, at first I was like, eh, and then it's delicious.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that at all?
I just put a ramen and a mac and cheese and then put extra shredded cheese in it.
Oh yeah, the extra shredded cheese really
So
helps.
a box of mac, a pack of ramen, all the seasoning and cheesing things, plus shredded cheddar.
Yeah, sometimes I won't do the ramen seasoning. That's just depending on how I'm feeling. Because sometimes it like there's a 50-50 on it, where sometimes it's good and sometimes it like is really bad. So
yeah,
sometimes you're just not in the mood for that flavoring with the ramen.
Right.
But Mary agrees with you, Teak. Homemade mac and cheese is the best.
Yeah. I have an awesome Instapot mac and cheese recipe where you cook the noodles in broth in the Instapot and then you throw in lots of shredded cheese and half or milk and you just like stir it in and it's like the best mac and cheese. And it's so easy. We did not have it last night. We had Annie's mac and cheese right out of the box.
Will you share your Instapot recipe? Jason's got an Instapot and that might be kind of cool for you to experiment.
Yeah. Well, and you can do like pepper jack. Sometimes I throw broccoli and chicken in with it. Like it just depends what's happening. If it's more of a side or if it's the main thing, then I'll throw some kind of protein in there. But
I do love broccoli mixed into the mac and cheese.
Yeah. In the instant.
Yeah, Teak wants to know, do you eat hot dogs? Like cut up hot dogs in your mac and cheese at all?
Yes, for sure. My kids would love that. That's basically ring bologna is just a big hot dog.
So when I was little, when I was like 4 or 5, I loved mac and cheese with hot dogs cut up in it, right? Like it was the bomb. And I had this little friend and one day she came over for lunch and that's what we had. And then we were like in the bathroom together and she started puking.
Oh, no.
And like, I can't get over that. Like I was 5 when it happened. And since then I cannot eat mac and cheese with hot dogs.
That is like the combination we eat the most at our house. If we're going down the path of mac and cheese, it's usually accompanied with hot dogs.
Is there anything that you have an aversion to because you once got sick or experienced somebody having a bad experience with it? Like Teak, is there anything that you have that experience with? Something that you don't like to eat because?
No, stuff I don't like to eat because it's bad.
Wait, you don't like to eat because why?
Because it sucks. Most food that I don't like.
He's not eating it for a reason like that, just that he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. He's choosing not to.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, speaking of food, let's talk about this blessing box, these little pantries.
Oh,
So this is a picture of Carson Getz, and for his Eagle Scout project, he built these blessing boxes, and I understand they're in like 4 locations in Manitowoc. This one's at Grow It Forward. I think there's one by Jefferson School. I'm not sure where the other 2 are, but it's really cool. It's like take what you need and leave what you can, and it's, you know, a little place where somebody in need can then get a little bit of food.
Yeah, I love this idea. So this just makes like, there you go. There's another picture. That's so cool. It just makes food items even more readily available for families that need it. And I love that it's like right by the sides of the road where these locations are. So it's super easy to go pick up or walk by in the case of many families who don't have a vehicle. And it's just such a sweet gesture. And something that was kind of cool. I had this picture, one of those pictures on my phone yesterday. Tina and I always kind of swap things back and forth before the show. And my kids saw Carson in the picture and they're like, hey, it's Carson. And I was like, wait a second. How do you know who this kid is? And they're like, oh, we're in groups with him at church. He's such a good guy. Like, we have so much fun with him. And I thought, like, just what a cool connection. Like, clearly my kids think highly of him. And this is just another reason why he is such a cool kid, because he's doing these amazing things out in our community.
I love that. And that sense of giving back to the community and making a difference. When he's got Christmas break, so Monday the 21st, he's going to join me for a Coffee on the Coast show and talk more about it. So I'm so excited to hear what he's got to say about the project. And so kind of like one of those little library concepts, right? The housing kind of looks similar, and it's just help yourself. And, when you're shopping, if you can buy an extra thing and stick it in there for somebody, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Instead of free little library, it's free little pantry.
Yeah.
How fun. What a sweet gesture. And just like a cool idea. Like, sometimes I think about just the idea of being in high school and just having this idea, and then not only having the idea, but really making it happen is just such a cool thing. So way to go, Carson. You get double high fives today.
Double high fives.
Come on, team. Double high five.
So Kristin and I try to high five each other sometimes on the show, but everything is backwards, so we forget which way to go. So ready, Kristin?
Totally got it.
First try. All right, give Kristin a high five, Teak. It's strange, right? How that works. Oh.
I love that his hand was like, whoa. That's how Tina and I used to look when we used to do it.
But now we are professionals.
We've made a lot of progress in 9 months.
Some people set workout goals. I set a high five goal.
A goal is a goal.
A goal is a goal. Chris Corneli says, blessing boxes are great. Manitowoc Noon Rotary supplied the boxes. Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know that, Chris.
Chris, thank you so much for mentioning that. That's really cool. So this is just, again, a great example of people partnering together to kind of make things happen. So there's so many people out there willing to do stuff. You just have to have the idea and like the willpower to go pull it all together.
Yeah. And I love that demonstration of looking out for others, thinking about others, and trying to make sure that others have a good experience.
Yeah. So real quickly, since we're talking about this, I don't know if you covered this on any of your other shows, but Tom Drill is back downtown ringing his bell and collecting money. Have you talked about this on any other show?
No, not this year.
So I just want to remind everybody that Tom is downtown. He's doing a fabulous job. We've stopped to see him a couple of times. His joy and excitement when you stop is just so overwhelming and so heartwarming. I just love it. I do want to remind people, when you are coming down Franklin Street and you're turning left onto 8th Street, Tom stands on that corner. So keep that in mind. You got to be careful, especially at night. He's often there in the afternoon and evenings. Please be careful cruising around that corner, because he is likely going to be out there ringing his bell.
Right. And talking to people and just spreading such goodwill.
Yes. Yes. I love the opportunity to see him. The girls got so excited when they saw him down there. There's been a ton of like music groups playing music down there with him, keeping him company. So, yeah, make sure if you are cruising downtown, you have change or dollars or whatever you have available to throw in his bucket.
Yeah, whatever you can do. That's awesome. Well, yeah. Kristin, as always, this has been so awesome. Teak, thanks for joining us on your day off school. How fun. You know, speaking of goals, it's hard to tell because he just shaved, but Teak has a beard and mustache goal.
Let's see it. Ooh, good luck.
No, it really gets bushy.
Yeah,
like, he literally just shaved. He had these lamb chops happening.
I can pull up my driver's license.
Does it grow just on the sides and not in the middle?
So it started on the sides and then underneath, and now it's like creeping up, but there's still this like gap here.
Sure.
And it's funny because Jason is the opposite, right? Like Jason is totally filled in here.
Yeah. Teak, I feel like. Can
you see?
Yeah.
His driver's license picture. Look at how furry he is.
I love it. So
did you notice that driver's license? Look at these days. They are portrait.
Yeah, the other.
Mine is like this.
I think that's because does he have to get a new one when he gets his I think that's because he's under a certain age.
No, my friend got his like full license, and his is like this too.
I know. I think until you're like under 18 or something like that, it goes the other way.
Weird.
Yeah.
So Mary said she's going to be ringing bell for the first time this coming Saturday at Piggly Wiggly. Ooh, and singing Christmas carols. That's awesome.
Yes. Hey, we haven't signed up yet, but there's always spaces open to ring bells, and many places you can do indoor and outside. So we'll just give a plug for the Salvation Army here. Go out and ring a bell somewhere. It does make a big difference when there's somebody there ringing the bell versus somebody not, how much goes in the bucket. There's some crazy stat, but it does make a big difference to be out there, and it's a lot of fun.
I love the fact that we live in this type of community. Well, Kristin, as always, so awesome having this conversation with you.
It went
Love
so
the
well.
Holiday Mug Edition. Woohoo! Did we say, are we going to take off the week between Christmas and New Year's, or are we going to be on the week between Christmas and New Year's?
Hey, viewers, why don't you tell us? Tina and I have been debating, do we want a show leading up to New Year's, or are we going to take off? You tell us. If you are going to be off and home and you're like, yeah, I want to tune in, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. And if you're interested in being a guest and having a conversation in real time with us, see, we were really nice to Teak. Didn't you have a good time? Look at that. High praise from a teen.
Had a great time. And then he is going to promptly run his little buns right back to bed.
Oh, Becky says, be off.
Be off. I love it. Merry Christmas, Chris. Mary, we love you too.
Ditto. Awesome. All right, everybody, take care. We will see you next time on Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Thank you so much for joining us. Teak, thank you so much for being here. See you next time.
Bye, guys.